In a pivotal political moment for Manitoba, Premier Heather Stefanson has set the stage for an upcoming election slated for October 3rd. And as the countdown to the election begins, all eyes will be on Manitoba's political landscape. The Premier's bid for a third consecutive majority will be closely scrutinized, with the electorate eager to witness how her party addresses the challenges posed by the pandemic's fallout. Now, the coming weeks promise to be a compelling and dynamic period in Manitoba politics. This comes as the Progressive Conservatives aim to rebuild their support base and secure their place in the province's political history. Well, joining us now to delve deeper into the implications and expectations surrounding this critical election is Miss Logan Ross, Vice President of Communications and Campaigns at Counsel Public Affairs. Miss Ross, welcome to Forum Daily.
Thank you for having me.
So let's start with a brief overview of the key factors and issues that are shaping the upcoming provincial elections in Manitoba.
Sure, yes. The 2020 or 2023 Manitoba election is shaping up to be, honestly, a race that is too close to call right now. All of the public polls have basically the PCs and NDP completely tied across the province. The PCs put up historic majorities in 2016 and 2019. And they're looking for at least 29 seats for a third term, whereas the NDP is looking to form government again. Before the PCs won their historic majority, they were in power for over 17 years. Key issues affecting this election or on top of Manitoba minds during this election are healthcare, the cost of living, and crime. And these themes have been reflected by, in the announcements that both the PCs and NDP have made thus far.
And would you be able to walk us through some of the key battleground constituencies or regions in Manitoba that we should watch out for?
For sure. So one thing is you don't base anything off of the provincial popularity of the parties. You always look to the city of Winnipeg. City of Winnipeg has 32 out of 57 ridings in the province. So really the city of Winnipeg is where elections are won or lost. Southwest Winnipeg is an area that I'm watching very closely, specifically the ridings of Riel, Southdale, and Fort Richmond. And then outside Winnipeg, I would be paying close attention to the ridings of Selkirk, Dauphin, and Brandon East.
All right. And we know this morning we had the First Leaders Forum. What would you say are the major takeaways by this First Leaders or from this First Leaders Forum that was hosted by the Manitoba Heavy Construction Association?
Sure, yeah. Today was the first forum of 3 confirmed debates or forums that are coming up, possibly hearing about a fourth. Kind of the rule is if your party leader has a seat in the House and they're allowed to participate. So the PC, NDP, and Liberal leaders were all there. The focus was on provincial economic development, infrastructure, housing affordability, homelessness, and ultimately some more reliable funding for municipalities. I would say, both Stephenson and Canoe performed very well. But, with Canoe's experience as a news TV anchor in the past, he had definitely more relaxed approach. And both the PC and NDP leaders made commitments to job creation and establishing a more coordinated approach when it comes to provincial economic development, as well as all 3 leaders committed to reinstating 24-hour highway maintenance across the province should they be elected. And that is something that is a great concern here to the business community with trade routes into the US and across Canada.
Some major issues highlighted in this first debate. What do you expect from next week's televised 1-hour debate?
Yeah, so I would say, this election is definitely different than the past two elections, general elections that we have had here in Manitoba. I am seeing a lot more people indicating that they're undecided and they're waiting to collect more information before making a decision, which is, you always have a handful, but it seems to be quite high this election. I think Manitobans will be watching this debate closely, and I think the performance of both Heather Stefanson and Wab Canoe will ultimately make up the minds for most Manitobans. Advanced polls opened just 2 days after the debate. And I do have a feeling that this debate could get heated. So it'll be important for both leaders and the Liberal leader to demonstrate that they're ready to lead the province versus kind of attacking one another on very specific issues that might not matter to the electorate.
Lots to follow. Miss Ross, thank you again for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.